welcome to the stage from Larian Studios, Kieron Kelly and Annika Peters. Please come to the stage and take your place. And Kieron, who, by the way, runs the D&D games at Larian Studios, right?
I run 2 games at the Dublin office, yeah.
Okay, and you're the Dungeon Master?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Okay, so if you have any critique for me, what I'm doing here later, I'm all ears.
Sealed.
Okay, so I'll ask you to sit down. You can, I'd say, sit down here. The yellow and red microphones are yours. And you've got 2 people who are going to be playing alongside you, with you, and hopefully supporting you in any way. Those are people that we usually play a lot with because I'm from Orkenspalter TV, which is a German YouTube channel that does a lot of stuff like this. So we do Let's Plays, or as you say in English, actual plays of tabletop role-playing games, a lot of them. So if you enjoy this, maybe take a look at this and you'll find more of this. So welcome Uli Lindner, who's also an author for a lot of role-playing games, and Eric Daniels.
What's that? I'm not back here. Yeah. Or that's stupid to stay on this one.
Okay, so Uli used to play a lot of D&D a few years back at edition 3.5.
Yeah, go for it.
So we briefed him very quickly what changed in the 5th edition, but I'm still going to explain some of the rules also for you, so you know what's actually happening. And, my dear people, we're going to play in the city of Baldur's Gate. That's where the adventure is set. And it's based on the background of an adventure that was issued in 2013, Murder in Baldur's Gate. So everything is going to be fine and no one is going to die. Murder in Baldur's Gate was at the threshold of 5th edition, and a lot of things happened at the time also in the world of Faerun, so things will be weird. Also, anything here that will resemble anything in Baldur's Gate 3, that would be completely coincidental because I don't know anything about what's going to happen in Baldur's Gate 3, and you're not going to talk about it because you'd rather work on the game than talk about it at this stage. Okay, so everyone ready? Everyone got the character? I also got character sheets if you want a printed out version.
Okay.
I'm going to give you your character. So, Theodoric Bellabranta. That's Theodoric, right? You got your rogue already? Okay.
Yeah.
So, my notes. This is going to be fun. Holding a microphone in one hand and playing and writing with the other. We're going to share.
Yeah.
You each got your own microphone. I'm going to share with Uli. We know each other, we can share. It's going to be fine, yes. So, our little party of adventurers has set out from Waterdeep, which is a bit up the coast if you're seeing Baldur's Gate at the center of the story. And you've traveled down on a ship to arrive at Baldur's Gate, and you've been traveling longer than you thought you would because there was a little bit of trouble at sea, there was a little bit of piracy going on, which might always happen. And which is also why we started level 3. And also because at level 1 characters can't do anything, to be honest. So you do know things and you can do things. And let's quickly introduce the characters. So we have a noble from Waterdeep.
Yes, I am Theodoric Bellabranta, and I am a noble from Waterdeep. I am a son of Hold Bellabranta from Waterdeep, who's known for their griffin training.
Yes, Waterdeep has a very well-known, group of fighters that ride griffins, which is very awesome, and you're from the family that breed and care for those griffins. And you have with you a retainer, someone who's officially a rogue, but she's probably not going to tell you straight away. Do you have a name for your character?
Yes. Is that working?
Should be on. Tim?
Yeah. Okay, cool. My name is Kyrie.
Kyrie.
And that's about what you need to know about me. Well, no, it's really loud.
Yes.
Sorry.
Everything else can remain a mystery for now. Speaking of mysteries, we have a Cleric of Mistre, the goddess of magic.
My name is Vondal Ironwind. I am playing a Cleric of the Church of Mistre, and as such, I am interested in all manner of magic and mystery.
And with you is a sorcerer who has wild magic, which means that things can go wrong and will go wrong all the time, that you keep an eye on. The reason you are traveling to Baldur's Gate, down the coast, face the pirates, and all of this is that you're going to exchange things at a place called the High House of Wonders in Baldur's Gate, which is the Temple of Gond. And Gond is the god of artificers and smiths and people who like to build stuff. And it's going to be kind of an exchange between the Church of Mistre and the Church of Gond, because the Church of Mistre has something that has been labeled a weapon. And in a small locked box, locked unless and some one of you tried and during the weeks of travel to unlock it.
You've tried.
Definitely.
You've tried. Okay, then let's find out. Okay. So, you're keeping an eye on it, but there was a lot of trouble at sea, so no one can watch it all the time. So let's just suppose that shortly before arriving at Baldur's Gate, you tried to open the lockbox. Now we're getting to the point where we need to roll dice. Oh, you already have some. Nice, people brought their own dice, otherwise I can hand them to you. And you need a D20, which is the thing that's going to decide everything in this game, most of the things. And you have a skill that you need to unlock things. So, would you give me a quick roll on sleight of hand to see whether you can quickly and without anyone seeing it unlock it? What did you roll?
Nothing.
Nothing? You rolled nothing.
That was like a check roll, so...
Okay, you just tried.
This is working, I just checked.
Oh, great, yes.
Good. I honestly just rolled a 20.
Oh, natural 20. Yeah. You pick the lock straight away. And inside that box that has been labeled as a weapon, there's a book. There's just a simple book, a diary, you'd say. Do you leave it in there?
Well, I would check it first. Like, before taking it out, I would check for traps and everything.
Okay. A perception roll.
4?
No traps. No traps at all. Everything's
Great.
fine. You can take the book out, no problem.
I guess I take it out then.
It's actually, there are no traps, really, so you're fine.
Good.
And the book is just actually a diary, but it's full of technical drawings and things like that, and it seems to be the diary of a priest of God. So this is what you know. Do you put it back?
Yeah, I put it back and I lock it again.
Okay. We suppose you can do that. You don't need to roll on that. You can just put the lock back on.
Okay.
So, with anyone else the wiser, you arrive at Baldur's Gate a little bit late and with a small box. And, of course, you arrive at the port, traveling on a boat, and you have to follow the river Chianthar around 40 leagues upstream until you arrive at the city. And then there it is, Baldur's Gate, which is by the sizes of cities as they go in Faerun, really big. And you can see it basically growing up like something that is very organic up the hills. And you can see the towers and the higher buildings up on the hill where all the rich people, the patriarchs who rule over Baldur's. And the captain of the ship, he pays the docking fee and everything. You're free to leave. And Baldur's Gate also has the rule that people who leave from a boat, they don't have to pay any taxes and stuff like that because the seamen have worked for this a lot. Who's carrying the box?
Me, of course. I have to take care of it. It's my job.
So, if no one else wants to carry the box, it's going to be with Wild Sorcerer. Nothing can go wrong there. Good.
And that interaction will be interesting to watch.
You are going to watch and take notes.
Oh, yes.
So, when you set foot on Baldur's Gate, the first thing that you notice is the noise. There's so many people here. You're from Waterdeep. You're used, noise, background noise, some mumbling, anything? Oh, yeah, that's a very good one.
Touch of the plague in the city, I think.
Maybe. You actually notice something as you look at the woman who coughed near you and wonder whether she might be sick. That high up on the hill, there are a few clouds of smoke. Either people are having some festival where they burn things, or actually there is some bit of the city burning. Everyone else around you seems tense, but people go about their daily work just as normal. People, porters unloading things. Mist is coming in from the sea. So, do you want to head straight for the temple that you're supposed to go to, or do you want to do anything else?
If the people seem tense, I would probably just stop some passerby and ask, hey, is everything okay?
The woman goes first. I mean, you're new here, right?
Yeah, we literally just came off this ship.
How am I supposed to... Whether you came... Yes, you're new. Things are not well in Baldur's Gate. Things are not well. You do best to turn around and leave right now.
Yeah, can you be a little more specific? Because I'm not running for things that are not specific.
If you wanted to be specific, monsters and terror and people killing each other in the streets, that is what's happening. Is that specific enough for you?
That's quite all right, thanks.
They killed one of the lords. They killed one of the dukes. Can you imagine?
I'm not from here, so no, I really can't.
Where are you from?
Waterdeep.
You got lords there too.
Yeah, but nobody's killing them.
Lucky bastard, you. No, we only got 4, and now we're down to 3. And everyone's jockeying for the position, and people have taken over. And he also was the first one of the Flaming Fist. You do know what the Flaming Fist is.
Yeah, sure I do, but you said there's an opening now, right?
Sonny, you don't look like someone who's going to have any chance at that.
Okay, I guess you're probably right. Thanks.
Okay, safe travels, foreigner.
Is the smoke coming from the upper city, or where is it coming from?
You say it's from the upper city. From down here, you can tell where the upper city probably begins, and you'd say it's behind the wall that's dividing the city. As you can see up there, you have landed in the lower city where all the docks are, and the upper city, it has another wall, and there's a lot of differences. Upper cities where the patriarchs live, they're rich, they have a lot of say. The lower cities where the people are who work, and then there's the outer city, there's the rest, as most people would say. The poor people, those who don't have any jobs, and those
And the people that
you
matter.
know.
Is that what you're saying? The rich nobles like myself.
Yeah, maybe. Those who have fallen on misfortune. So, are you now willing to move on, or does anyone else want to do something? Around you, people mingle, people are trying to sell you things anywhere you turn. Stuff like masks against the cough that some people have on the streets, and anything you might need or not need.
How much is one of those masks?
Only 3 copper pieces.
I'll get one. Oh, no, I'd throw one for each.
So now you have masks for the cough.
Is the smoke coming from the direction we actually need to be heading?
Hard to say from down here. Maybe?
Well, then I would suggest we hurry up, because I really, really want to get this exchange, get this over with.
Okay. Are you going to take the direct route, or do you want to actually go through the Baldur's Gate into the upper city?
Well, do we have any kind of paperwork that would allow us to move through there?
You do have paperwork, all of you, because you are officially sent from the House of Wonders in Waterdeep, which is the Temple of Mistre. Temples seem to have very similar names in Faerun. So you're heading to the High House of Wonders, and you started in the House of Wonders. And he, of course, he's got all the rich. He's a nobleman, so he usually carries something, his signet ring, and things like that. So you're probably going to be fine passing through the wall.
We've come all this way. We might as well see the city's gate.
Sure. Good idea.
Okay.
Go the long way.
Come again?
We'll go the long way to see the...
You're going the long way. You're going to see the scenic route. So you're heading up slightly easterly road to what is marked as P on this map. That is the Baldur's Gate, the most famous gate in the city, named for Baldur, and the greatest hero of the city, of course. And behind it is the White, which is a huge market where everything shifts and changes from day to day. But already heading up there, people around you try to sell things. It gets a little bit less as you leave the harbor. But then someone is heading pretty straight for you. Someone with a very distinct look, half-elf, you'd say, from his size and his features and his ears, with white hair and a strange look because he has a blue eye and a green eye. And he heads straight for you, looking at your robes as a cleric of Mistre and at your fine clothes. Gentlemen, my lady.
Just wanted to say, kind of keep behind the group a little bit, like stay in the shadow and like observing.
Okay.
So does he notice me?
I will tell you in a second.
Rogue doing roguish things.
Well, I mean,
You see his eyes moving over the crowd and trying to tell who is part of this group and who is not, and he just for a second makes eye contact with you and gives you a little wink.
Damn it.
So, you're bringing something into the city that seems very interesting. Are you maybe interested in making a deal, considering what you are?
Well, I do agree that my companion is a very interesting fellow, but I'm not in the slave trade, so unfortunately.
Oh no, I'm not here to. No offense to you. You're a good-looking man, but I'm not looking to buy a person.
So,
Sabin, I think, and I'm interested to buy your goods. And I really mean goods. It's no euphemism for anything.
Oh, I see. Well, unfortunately, we are only here to deliver them. So we are not in any kind of trade. It has already been paid for. Well, technically not, but whatever. Let's just say it has already been paid for. And we are just on our route to deliver them. So we are not at liberty to sell you any of our goods, especially not this fine young fellow.
You look
I
like...
guess that's my thing to decide, sir.
You look like someone who'd be in the position to make this deal too. I wonder, what could I offer you to rethink your deal?
I'm more interested as to how you know we're here and what we're carrying.
Oh, let's say I'm the kind of person that people tell things. I listen to the voices in the street.
So this voice says, bugger off.
How rude. I'm thinking about maybe, you know that the Baldur's Gate right now is very dangerous. This is not a good place to be. You could also hand it over and I make sure that your errand is finished and everything, and you can go home and no harm done.
Well, if it's really as dangerous as you say, I would suggest you hide somewhere safe, seeing as we are 4 people and you are 1 person. And just out of curiosity, how much would you want to be paid for your services? If it's your decision, how much you go for?
Are you asking for personal reasons or for him? Because the price will change a lot.
Oh, I see. That's interesting. Good question. Good question.
What makes you think I'm completely alone? And he moves to a different stance and he rests one of his hands, very obviously on a weapon in his belt. And then he looks behind you and says, but maybe you're right. Maybe I should take this elsewhere. Maybe we'll see each other again in this city if you have some free time.
Can we see anybody around?
If you turn around and look, there's a few people of the Flaming Fist coming up the street. They're very distinct. They're wearing silver armor and they're wearing a tabard that shows a flaming fist of all things. And they're a mercenary band in Baldur's Gate who deal with all things from petty theft to possible traitors inside the lower city. And the half-elf does a little bow to you and then he backs off. nods to you again, and then he slinks off into another street. What do you want to do?
What was that about?
I would suggest we head straight for the church
As quickly as possible.
as quickly as possible.
The flaming fist behind you, who were obviously the reason for the half-elf leaving, for Saber leaving, they seem to set up an impromptu court, and they are dragging someone with a leash around his neck, and they, as you leave, they start on, "This man has stolen, he claims to be poor to feed his family, but it's still..." And then, obviously, they are about to lynch someone. It seems like the law in the city has a bit degraded. So, reaching the Baldur's Gate, very impressive building, 2 great towers of grey stone flanking a gate. And there is also the place where the Flaming Fist usually hands off the duties to the guard, who guard the upper city, and there's a few of the guards standing there, but people pass in and out normally. The guards nod at you and someone says, "Beware, you need to leave early, there's a curfew."
Okay, what is the curfew?
It's at 6 bells.
All right.
What time is it now?
It's actually early in the day. You have 8 hours left, roughly.
We will make haste. Thank you.
Farewell. And walking into the wide, there's a lot of jostling going on, people moving through the crowd. And there's a great lamenting from somewhere further in this great floating market. Floating in the sense, not on water, but floating as in people pitch up their tent in another place every day. And people are murmuring and clamoring around something further in. And everything around you is moving pretty erratically, trying to dodge the other people. And I'd like for you to make a test on dexterity if you manage to dodge someone who's obviously a little drunk and plowing into you.
A dexterity saving throw?
You get a bonus on a dexterity saving throw.
I do, that's fine.
Yeah, then it's a saving throw.
22.
22. You easily sidestep him. He staggers a little bit and you're lucky.
I'm very lucky. Thanks very much.
Yes. I haven't challenged anyone to a duel today.
Let's go, let's
Yet.
go, let's go.
Yet. Someone broke off the hands of the ranger. This is a bad day for Baldur's Gate. A bad day, man.
Where are we in relation to the fires that we saw earlier?
The fires, it seems like those fires have already been put out, and there's smoke in the city, and there's like smoldering ash, obviously still giving off a little bit smoke, but it's further north and east, and you need to go west to see the High House of Wonders. So it seems like the Temple of God is not burning right now. Let's see what happens later.
I would like to make sure that we move in a way that my companion with the box is somewhere in between at least 2 of our people at all times.
Okay. Noted.
Preferably me and someone else I don't trust quite as much, but I mean, what you're
You
going
can
to do.
trust me.
Completely, yes.
Good.
Do you know her well? Probably not.
Probably not, but that doesn't... I don't see obvious signs of tampering with the lock, but I am going to assume.
I just look very trustworthy,
Oh yes.
obviously, so...
You
Well,
have that. You have that
yeah.
kind of face and the kind of bearing.
Exactly. I mean, what could go wrong?
Yeah.
It's fine.
As you're making your way through the market and going west, after you did the tourist thing and saw the White and the Baldur's Gate, you didn't see the statue of the beloved ranger, which is basically the only thing that doesn't move in the market. And you just heard, and you keep it repeated everywhere. They broke off the hands of the beloved ranger. The hamster's gone. I don't like this. People have no respect anymore these days. I'm really not fine with this. And people seem to be very distraught. And you also, someone else they broke off the hands of other statues too. People are just going nuts these days. First they murder the Duke, and then monsters in the street. And may Lathander protect us against evil, and they make signs against evil, obviously. So, the High House of Wonders, you make it there without anyone else trying to call you out for a duel or trying to get the box or anything, is located a little bit west. Oh, there it is, High House of Wonders. And there's two important holy places for the Church of Gond, and they're right next to each other, or at least they're facing each other across the plaza. And one is the Hall of Wonders, where people go to look at wonderful, marvelous things that priests of Gond have built, and the High House of Wonders is where they actually build them. And it's a beautiful, tall building made of white marble and blue tiles. And from the inside, you hear a lot of clanging and people shouting at each other. And it sounds more like a commoner's workroom than something that is a holy place or a church.
Well, I approve of the color scheme at least. So there's that.
Yes. The priests, although they have a very different color scheme, you see people moving in and out, and they all wear saffron robes and broad-brimmed hats. And they have lots of tools dangling from the bells and sashes made of metal plates. And a lot of them give you kind of a side eye as you move up. Cleric of Mistre, Cleric.
I nod politely and arrogantly, of course.
Okay. So, do you want to go straight in? What do you want to do?
I would suggest to maybe check the area first and maybe try to scout what is waiting for us inside.
Okay. So you want to kind of take a look around and sneak a bit around?
Just like take a casual look.
Okay. Will you please do make a perception roll for me? You should have a bonus on that. So 6 plus
8.
8. Okay, that's not very good.
I'm a little bit useless.
You are looking around and you see a lot of people who seem very on edge. There's people arguing everywhere. And some of the priests of Gond who stand beside the gates and look out at the crowd, they seem also a bit troubled, frown on the face. But you can't see anyone who seems to look for your group specifically or anything.
I go back to the group and I very proudly present you those observations that are like completely not useful for you at all.
Well, thank you. People arguing is noted. Thank you. I would probably want to make as grand an entrance or an introduction of myself to the priest as possible. So I want to draw most eyes on me and not on the box, which is probably being carried behind me somewhere.
Yeah. So unless you've changed anything, it's still you in the middle and the two of you flanking him and having an eye on the box. So no making a run for it.
No. Everything is fine.
Everything is fine. Okay. So what do you do?
I want to move up to, like, they probably have ranks that even I can see, basically. So I want to have the highest ranking cleric I can immediately see, or member of the church, which is not necessarily a cleric, of course. And I want to make a grand bow and say that I am Vondal Ironwind from the Church of Mistre. I think you are expecting our group. We come bearing gifts, or a trade, if you will.
I think we are awaiting you. He seems very baffled. Would you mind waiting a moment?
No, sure, fine. It's not quite what I was expecting, but it is the Church of Gond after all.
Well, we do things orderly here and by the book, so I'm going to bring you the priest who actually knows about this deal. Are we agreed on that?
I was expecting nothing else.
Fine. He writes his broad-brimmed sun hat and shakes his head, and then he heads inside. So you're left in the entrance of the High House of Wonders for now. And if you look up, you notice that the gates, there are 2 more sets of gates that have been winched up, huge slabs of bronze that look like they could come down at the moment's notice. So maybe not stand directly below them. Around you, people are hammering things, sawing things, working on small mechanical stuff. There's whirring sounds everywhere. And you think just back there you see a gondsman, which is basically a man built of machine parts and wood, and he's clanking along. And people still give you the side eye. Do you want to talk to anyone else or do anything while you wait?
I would suggest we don't talk to anyone else, but we might want to decide if we want to go farther in or wait outside. if it's not the best area.
Well, technically, we were told to wait outside, correct?
Wait here, he said. That's...
Well, that's not very specific, at least.
Yeah.
So, can we go in? Is that possibility there? Is the door open? Is it
Yes,
locked?
the door's open. People walk in and out all the time, and it seems like just normal citizens also can just go inside the temple and work on things.
Just walk in.
You
Yeah.
just walk in, like you own the place. You could. Yes. People make way and nod and obviously recognize you as a person of importance. Everyone is giving the Cleric of Mistre strange glances, but they leave you alone for now. And someone just stops near you. Haven't you been here before?
I certainly have not, but maybe you have seen some members of my church.
I'm having a strange moment now. I thought it's a welcome to the High House of Wonders. Do you want to do holy work here?
Well, no, we were told that we were here to see a specific priest who is already sent for. So really, we are just waiting and marveling at the wonders of Gond, I suppose.
Oh, yes. Yes, marvel away, son, marvel away. And then the priest that you talk to, the first priest, comes back, and behind him is someone with whose spell shows more of these medallions, metal medallions, and he's got loads and loads and loads of tools on his sash. And he comes up to you and says, very good. So you found a Cleric of Mistre. We still have to talk about how this deal is actually to go down, because I think we might have to renegotiate. And why don't I recognize any of you? What? This makes no sense.
What do you mean renegotiate?
Yes, as I said to you, the other people of your group just a few hours ago, things might have changed in the city, and the importance of the artifact that you seek, the Eye of Truth. And now he touches his robe, and you can see the outline of a big medallion under his robe as he moves it slightly. I think it might have come a little bit more important than we thought it would be. So
I can assure you that there was no other group.
Oh, but they were. They were.
We were not informed of anything changing in the trade.
Oh, but you brought another box. So I guess you decided to bring more goods to the High House of Wonders to exchange for your
I'm
artifact.
sorry. Is there anywhere we could talk more privately, perhaps?
He looks around at all the people milling about, hammering at things, looking at you. Certainly. Please follow me. And he heads deeper into the building. And if you follow him? Sure.
Yes.
All of you follow him, obviously, or is the rogue going to be sneaking again?
I mean, he's seen me, so not following.
Okay.
I'll follow.
You'll follow. So, you're moving deeper into the building and then down the stairs into something that is probably located below the plaza that you just came in on. And there he opens a door into a room that, as everything here, has pillars of white marble and lots of tables, and stuff is crammed into every nook and cranny. Lots of weird artifacts, you guess. And there he stops and waves you in. So, wait, would you explain this to me? This morning, your group came here, as we discussed. They said they were late, but they were sorry. We expected you a few days ago, obviously, and they handed over the box, as discussed. But I said I wanted to talk to a Cleric of Mistre first, and I wanted to renegotiate, and I expected you to be the people who came here with the Cleric of Mistre to renegotiate.
Well, we just got off the ship about an hour ago.
Where's the box they gave you?
Over there. We didn't open it as agreed because the exchange hasn't happened yet. So you can, if you don't want to make the deal, you can take it back.
Sir, I think you're misunderstanding. We don't know anything about another group, and we don't know anything about this box. But if you say it belongs to us, we'll probably have a look at it anyway.
Are you saying you're not with a... Then who are you?
Well, he's the Cleric of Mistre. He's the envoy that was sent from Waterdeep. We are his entourage. and we just came off the ship an hour ago. It's not that hard, actually.
But then who did I talk to this morning?
That is the real question.
The real question is whatever is in that box.
We should open it.
Let's open boxes.
Let's open the box.
We should be a little careful about that, actually. And what I want to do is I want to spend a level 1 spell slot to cast Detect Magic.
You want to detect magic?
Yes.
Go ahead and detect magic. About everything around you
That is true. So
lights
that's-
up.
Yes,
Yes.
That's,
You're basically blinded.
everything is blue. Is the box also blue?
It's Christmas Day. Lights
No,
everywhere.
the box is not blue. The box is about the only thing not blue here but the floor.
Okay. That is interesting. Is our box blue?
No, your box is actually not blue either.
Okay. So it's about the thing inside, and the box is thick enough so I can see inside.
That is one theory, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So then go ahead, please try to open the box.
So,
I step away from the rogue.
Fine.
the sorcerer hides behind you, and you roll
12.
a 12. You fiddle
Yes.
with the lock, and you get the first tumbler, you get the second tumbler, and the third keeps slipping away, and you can't keep the tension on the lock. And you get closer to listen to the noises the lock makes as you move it, and then you hear, apart from the clicking that your thieves' tools make, you hear another.
Oh, that's not good. I
What
step
you do?
away.
You step away from the box.
Step away as far as I can, and I casually give him with sign language. I tell him something's not right here.
Why are you looking at me like that? What am I meant to do?
We work together, right?
We do. You usually do that. I usually stand
Oh,
here
it's
and watch
sticking.
you do that.
Okay, while they're discussing this, I'm trying to keep the priest of Gond away from there, so we are not responsible for any death.
I mean, as far as I see
what's
it,
wrong? What
Are
is going on
we in
here?
a room right now where it's just him and us
Yes.
with a bunch of knickknacks and you haven't stolen anything yet?
who said that?
I'm just checking. I'm just checking.
You want to nick something off the shelves?
Is there anything I can actually use?
You don't know. You can look around. There's a lot of things. There's carving, there's pendants, there's another small box, there's an orb made of bands of metal, there's a robe that's glowing softly in a greenish blue hue, things like that.
Well, I'll
yeah.
have a look at that later. First, we should maybe take care of the ticking box.
Do you actually tell everyone the
Well, I
ticking?
tell him first, because as far as I see it, something clearly went wrong. There is a second group, and you are way more involved in all of this than I am. So I'm kind of having trust issues with all of
So
you.
you're keeping the ticking to yourself
I
and your
only tell
lord.
him.
Okay.
And you can decide what to do.
I'll tell the priest of Gone that your box is ticking.
The box is ticking.
Yes, ticking.
It's not my box. Hey, it's your box.
No,
Your
this is
people
not our box. This is your box.
No, that is actually our box, and I show him the box.
It is.
This box is my box. This box is your box.
He starts to move slower to the box, obviously interested in anything ticking.
I'm gonna grab him. Your box is ticking.
Yes, as are many of the gifts of Gond.
Okay, so you think it's totally fine and safe with this box? You don't know what's inside. Strange people who gave you a wrong name told you something about it, and you're believing it all?
You're making a good point.
Quick question. How does Mage Hand interact with touch spells? So can I use my Mage Hand to cast Mending on the box and try to stop the ticking? Or reset the timer or whatever?
I think that's usually not going to work, but I like the idea. So in this case, I'm just going to wave hands and say, why
Yes.
not? You have a wild sorcerer with you. Things are not working the way they're supposed to.
Okay, so I am going to make arcane gestures. A blue hand is emanating from my hand, which moves then to the box. And through control and wild magic, I will cast my mending cantrip on the box to try to stop the ticking.
You cast your spell, a cantrip,
Yep.
and you mumble, and it takes a minute, about a minute. A minute that you probably spent pretty nervously. The ticking grows louder and louder, and it seems to go faster and faster while he's still mumbling away.
I make my way to the exit, just like
Yes.
in case I can like slip around the corner and be like safe behind the stone walls.
I stay in the room, but I make sure the priest is in front of me.
Which one?
Any priest.
The one not in our party.
The Gond priest. And you made sure the Gond priest is behind you.
Yeah, that the gun priest is behind me and I'm behind him who is behind him. So we're like a line.
No, I think right now you're standing in a circle. As the way
Whatever
you describe
happens,
it.
I'm at the back.
anymore.
So people are jostling to be the people furthest back in this room. The minute is up. You feel your spell gripping the material of the box and starting to mend small things. There's a scratch in the metal. Someone nicked the varnish.
Great.
And then the box explodes.
You
There's
go.
a sudden and you feel it in your bones, the noise the thing makes as it's set off. There's a bright flash, and then something slaps like a huge hand made of pressure and hot air, and it throws you back, and every one of you make a dexterity saving throw.
Even me? I mean, I'm behind the wall.
You were really far back, right?
Yeah, I went like out of the room and like.
Yeah, and you did,
around
then you
the corner.
don't. You're outside, or you hear suddenly a very loud boom that's echoing back and forth in the room, and probably loud groaning and oofs from other people. So, who made it?
Is a 4 enough?
No, Uli. In this case, not. You're looking for a 12 at least.
18.
15.
So, the two of you.
This is what you get from standing in front.
The priest is so dead.
He's got the thing we want. I wanted to kill him. Might as well get rid of him now.
Okay. So
Well, that
you
is
take
true.
If the
4
box kills
points-
him, it's not our fault.
You take 4 points of damage, and the rest of you only take half, so each of you get 2 points of damage as you manage to twist and land safely, or rather safely than he who's slapped into one of the columns, and all your breath leaves you, and you feel some of your ribs protesting this very loudly. And your ears are ringing, and you've been pushed back a few feet, and you can't see straight. There's a lot of blood splotchy things in front of your eyes right now. And you hear the priest of God go, "What was this?"
I think your box exploded.
Your box!
No, I have my box here.
What do you do?
I just like pop my head around the corner, like you're good. Okay, cool.
They look a little singed. A lot of the artifacts have been thrown off shelves. Things have been moved around slightly, and there's a black charred space where the other box sat.
Did anything like slide out of the entrance? Like,
Let me
for me to-
look. Oh yes, a small metal trinket that looks like a musical instrument, so like something, like someone who can't hold a tune, who just goes ting ting ting. A chime seems to have rolled right in front of your feet.
I like that. I like put it in my pocket.
Okay, the chime is in play. Okay. So, and you see the priest of God arguing with him about your box, my box, whose box was this anyway. Do you want to do anything, or just standing there with your ears ringing?
Well, I want to swirl around and try to find him and the box and see if the box is unharmed. Our box, like.
You're looking at if the box is unharmed?
Yes. I mean, bonus if you're unharmed, but
It was a short trip.
I'm not, and you're a priest. You could do something about it.
are you really hurt? Like,
Yes.
show me where it hurts.
Not in front of all those people.
Okay, fine.
There is a tiny puppet. You can hand the puppet over and show me on the puppet where the evil bomb hurt you.
Show me on the puppet.
Pointing at the ribcage of the puppet.
Ah, okay. So I will then take another level 1 spell slot and cast Cure Wounds on you.
Cure wounds. So roll a d8 for me.
And you get healed for 9 hit points.
You can't get more than your max max hit points. So the priest of Gond is looking at all of this now that you received medical attention, and he's looking around at the disorder everywhere. I will call the guard.
Actually, I think that's a good idea because your box harmed all of us. And I think there'll be hell to pay if we don't sort this all out.
As he says that, I push him against the wall and say, we came here for one deal, and you nearly killed us. So I propose that we stick to our deal. We give you our box, which I promise won't explode, and you give us what we came for.
Help! Yes. Already priests of Gond are coming down the stairs because people have heard the explosion. And now that someone is screaming for help down there, they move faster. They hold their ridiculous hats, sign of their priestly duties, and look at you weirdly. What happened? What happened? Are you okay?
I'm fine. I escaped. But, like, your priest box exploded, so I think that was an attack, clearly. On us.
Yeah. On you?
Yes?
Why did you bring this down on the House of Gond?
I don't know. That's for you to ask. You have to.
I asked you.
True. No, you have to ask your own people. They clearly attacked us. I've seen everything.
The priest that you're holding against the wall calls, call the guard! Call the guard now! One of the younger priests runs back up the stairs.
I release him.
Yeah. We will get this sorted out. I am willing to listen to you that this was not your fault. It was not my fault, I assure you.
Not our fault. We walk in here for 30 seconds and one of your things explodes in our faces.
Well, your cleric obviously cast a spell on it.
To try to keep it from exploding, I mean...
That's what you say.
It's a mage hand, and my mage hand mimics my hand's gestures. It's a mage hand. It can't make things explode.
I am not a great study of the Arcana, maybe. I am willing to take your explanation at face value, but people are coming who know these things and who will sort this out. So you just stay put here.
That is a good idea.
When nobody's watching, I would like to press my ear to my box just to hear if there's any ticking.
Your box isn't ticking. Unless you left something in there that's ticking, but...
No.
No. Your box is silent.
Thankfully not.
Note for later, though, stick something in there that ticks just to freak him out.
I will. Don't worry.
If you're looking around for something that ticks, there are a few very nice watches lying around. So, really quickly, basically, as soon as this short talk is over, there's people coming down the stairs, but they're not the watch. They're actually Flaming Fist. So people who actually are not supposed to take care of the law and safety in the upper city. And the person at the front of the four people who are coming down the stairs wears a very, very grim face and looks at you all like he's about to lynch you, as you've seen outside. He doesn't seem very pleased with what's happened.
I don't have a disguise kit or anything, right? So I wouldn't have enough time to say, like, transform myself in one of the priests before they arrive.
They're coming down the stairs right now. So you'd have to sidestep. There is a corridor going left and right, and get a priest and rob him and dress him in his or her robes. So do you want to do that?
Yes.
Okay. So you step aside. There's one younger priest, slightly fidgety, and he looks at you. Yes?
Well, I mean, I punch him. I mean, I want his robes.
Yes, do it.
Okay.
I'm not very strong, though.
Roll
I
an
don't
attack.
punch him. Actually, I don't punch him. I just looked at my stats.
There's absolutely no way this can go bad. Like,
It's kind of gone terrible to begin with, so might as well go the whole way.
I look at him and I move, and then I see that he's actually very well trained. I'm like, you know what? Never mind. And I just turn around and
Well, the priests of Gond, they hammer things and saw things, and they do physical work all day.
I lean against the wall and try to be very subtle yeah.
Actually, the Flaming Fist is actually passing by you and walking into the room.
Are they walking in our direction? Then I'll try to cast Charm Person on the fun-looking guy in front.
Okay. So you have your nifty little card there, Charm Person. I think he has to do a roll, a saving throw. What's your spell save DC?
Wherever it is.
It's on your... 13.
And I use heightened spells. Yes.
Ah, yes, he's a sorcerer, so he can strengthen his spells on the go. Your magic is much more malleable than those of wizards. So, let's look at this. No, he doesn't make it. So, as he comes inside, he opens his mouth, and then he sees you.
I came to him and say, "Sir, thank you so much for coming. Somebody tried to kill us all. Can you help us, please?"
Oh, yes, certainly, friend. What happened here? Explain it to me.
These are my companions, and we were here for a simple errand. He sent us envoy of the Church of Mistre. We were supposed to bring this box here. It's not to be confused with this former box over there. It's where those black stuff, it exploded. This fine priest of Gon says it's not his fault. He didn't know about the exploding box. And we certainly did neither, but there seems to be imposters who said they were sent by the Church of Mistre. A couple of hours ago. We just arrived 1 hour ago. You can check with the harbor master, of course. So, help us.
Surely, you're not a citizen.
I'm a citizen of Waterdeep.
You're not a citizen of Baldur's Gate, that is. Which is not bad, actually, because this is a city of scum. And everyone here, everything is going to shambles. It seems even the priests of Gond are not above the things that plague our city right now. So you all belong to the same party.
Yes, and
He also only points at you. You've been ignored so far.
And as he says the whole spiel about the Church of Mistre, my mage hand will actually roll out the documents that we have with the seal, and I will produce my holy symbol, which is an emblem that I wear around my neck.
So, very well. And he looks at your signet ring, at your clothes are...
Theodoric Bellabranta, from House Bellabranta of Waterdeep.
Bellabranta. Oh, the Griffins. Yeah, before joining the Flaming Fist, I thought about moving north. I would really, really love to see them one day. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I came in here with a purpose, and then something happened.
I think the purpose was to find out who committed this horrible, horrible crime in this crime-infested city where we are not from.
Yes. We were here anyways, which is why we arrived so quickly at the scene, because we've heard that the Church of Gond is holding a relic of Mistre, which is of high interest of our captain. So I've been told that you keep it, Your Highness, and he looks at the priest, and I will ask you to hand it over.
Actually, there was already a trade agreed to.
Yes. Yes, I would also ask him to hand it over, but not to you, because it was agreed upon that he handed it to the Church of Mistre, where the artifact actually belongs.
You said it's a relic of Mistre, right? Because he's a cleric of Mistre and you are not.
I am not, but I am of the Flaming Fist, and my captain has tasked me to get this relic and bring it to him. It seems to be of high interest to him. He says it's what?
How about the relic is handed over to us, as agreed on, and we accompany you to your captain, so we can sort all of this out.
That way everybody's happy.
The priest of God doesn't look like he'd be happy with that. You don't have a say in the upper city. I have called for the guards, and they will arrive any second now. So, the Flaming Fist, the four people, they look at each other and they're kind of whispering among them. And then one of them says, "You all wait here. We will deal with the watch. Don't leave."
I'm kind of asking myself if that trade is really worth it, or if it would be time to maybe get out.
Yeah.
You want to leg it.
I mean, what do we actually get out of it?
I was just here to see the city. I don't know what's going on
I mean, we
here.
can just, like, part of it's on fire, but we can just go.
I have a
I
piece
am
of the city
definitely
inside
staying,
of me from the
so-
explosion.
Do you say any of this to your friends?
Yes.
So you come inside the room and...
I don't really walk in. I'm
Yeah.
more like leaning again. Like that room, it's a dangerous room. Mm-hmm. Now, like, I question what you can offer us to stay and keep helping you because, like, what do we actually get?
I'm not exactly the expert in what we can pay because I don't know what I'm getting paid, but
Yeah, that's the point. You should join us.
that's actually a good point.
I mean, leave the box.
But I'm thinking about this whole trade thing. There are at least, I think, 4 groups now interested in it. So it has to be valuable, doesn't it?
It is very valuable, says the priest of Gond, who's straightening his robes from being pushed against the wall and shouted at by different people.
I'm telling him, sorry, we are like talking among us now. Could you please keep out of it?
But he is right. As much as it pains me to say that, it is invaluable, that artifact.
It is.
And what-
It is remembering things. You know what the Eye of Memory is? What it actually does?
I do know.
I don't.
That is fine.
Enlighten
You
us.
will learn when it's time.
He's always saying that.
And it showed me. It showed me the God Slayer, and it showed me what happened in the times of trouble, and it showed me what might happen in the future. And I'm not ready to give that into the hands of someone who's just going to leave Baldur's Gate to its fate.
That's great. The question is just, what are you willing to give us? Like us. In return.
If she says us, she actually means her.
Yeah, I do. Totally.
There was a... Please make a roll on perception, as you're the only person outside the room.
13.
13. That's actually good enough. So out of the corner of your eye, you see movement, and when you turn the head, the first thing you see is the young priest that you threatened just a minute ago, or tried to...
I just talked to him. In the end.
Yeah, you
I reckon
touch
so.
him on the shoulder very softly.
Like, hey.
And he's nodding to someone who's coming down a corridor from the other side, and then you look and you see some people coming down there, and then he's starting to throw off the robe, and underneath you see a leather vest and
Thank
a crossbow that he's lifting from his belt. What do you do?
What is he taking off?
A crossbow.
Oh. We should get out of here. I kind of like give him a sign, like, we should leave now.
Someone is coming down the stairs. Right now, there's at least one person who seems to belong to this group coming from the 3 ways that you could actually leave. She makes frantic signs from the door.
Okay, and I can hear the stairs. We can hear people coming down the stairs.
You can see people come down. And when you turn around, you hear someone coming down the stairs. It's a very dapper-looking half-elf with white hair,
Of course.
who is right now starting to grip his weapon, winking at you again.
Step behind the priest and hold a dagger to his throat.
Which priest?
Don't- You know what? We had a rough journey here, but I'm not there yet with you, okay? It's just the
That's good to know.
priest of gone right
Good to
now.
know.
Okay, so you're threatening the priest of God. Do you want to stay outside as the people are converging on you, or...?
Well, I mean, they have to like pass me, right, to get into the
Yes,
room. All of them have weapons.
yes. They're all drawing them. The elf has already winked at you from the
Is it like a
stairs.
good wink or like a bad wink?
It was more of a nice to see you, I might kill you later wink.
That's not. I think
You can roll inside if you want to know if it's really good or really bad, but
yeah, I mean, we're not.
I have my hand over his mouth this time.
It's a 9.
it's not.
Like an idea.
You'd say it's probably not that good.
Oh.
Well, he's drawing a weapon, usually a sign of things not going your way.
Yeah, then I go inside.
You go inside. Okay. So you keep holding the knife to the throat of the priest of Gond.
Yes, with my hand over his mouth.
That's not good because I actually wanted to talk to the guy, but
Well,
whatever.
talk to him, but he's going to shout guards again. I'm not going to have that happen.
Oh, okay. And I actually want, while he is doing that, I want to address the priest of Gond and say, you know, it seems to me very likely, and I want to peek around the corner, that the artifact is out of your hands, whether you want it or not, in a second. And although I'm not defending you from my somewhat misguided friend over there, but it might be best to... I can't believe I'm saying that. Don't quote me on that. Don't tell the church. Join us, I guess.
What? No.
You have to know another way out of here, and there are 3 groups coming, and I trust neither of them. And I don't mean her.
I lift my hand.
There is no other way out of here. This is repository of the lesser wonders, where we keep magical items that we want to reproduce with our means, and there's no way out of here because we don't know what to people to nick them.
Which of these items can kill a lot of people?
Or hide us, I guess.
He looks around. I haven't made the inventory. And at this point, the half-elf has arrived at the door. And he stands there, taps his rapier against his boot, and looks at you. What are you doing?
It's a little private discussion if you don't mind waiting outside.
Well, actually, I just want to have what the nice priest is wearing around his neck. Nice to see you again, sir. And then I'll be off, and everyone's going to be happy.
Can you give us like 1 minute to discuss if we want to give it to you or not?
Roll persuasion.
I guess you won't give us the time.
I don't think so. We are in a little bit of a hurry here. I think the guard and the Flaming Fist were arguing upstairs. At some point going to look for you, I think. They were arguing about a priest of Mistre, some effing noble, and a guy with a box. They didn't seem to think very highly of you. So maybe we just get this over with and leave all of us this place.
Yes, get this over with. Good idea. Let's start with you leaving. So the leave part first.
Yes, and I think this is coming to the point where I'm not willing to talk to you anymore. Hand the thing over.
Would you be willing to talk to me for a second? I actually agree that he's not being diplomatic right now. But I have something to say to you.
Say it.
Ray of Frost.